I got a feeling that tonight's gonna be a good night.
Hello and welcome to the Middleton Lacrosse Senior Night. Tonight we honor the 6 players in our class of 2023 as well as their parents. To our seniors, thank you for your commitment to the lacrosse program during your time here at Middleton. Your hard work and the positive example you have set for all of your teammates is greatly appreciated by your coaches and your school and all of us that watch you. We wish you all the best in the remainder of your final season and in the years to come. To the parents of our seniors, thank you for your dedication to the Middleton lacrosse programs. We are grateful for the time you spent volunteering and most importantly, for your enthusiastic support of our players and coaches. And without further ado, let's meet this year's seniors and their parents. Our first senior, number 2, Joe Schwartz. Midfield, parents, Greg and Gwen. After graduating, Joe will join the United States Military Academy at West Point, majoring in environmental engineering. Joe's advice for incoming freshmen is to try different sports, and when asked how he's changed since freshman year, he says, "I now have a monocle." His most vivid lacrosse memory is running 3 full field down and backs as a freshman, and if he could start high school over, the activity he would try would be tennis. His most unusual talent is that he can dig deep holes, and the compliment that Joe receives most often is, "You look much better than your older brother." The worst punishment he ever received as a child was having to spend time with his siblings, and his most embarrassing childhood memory was passing out at the Wax Museum. His favorite things about kindergarten were reading a shark book, playing with Legos, and having nap time. In 10 years, Joe envisions that he'll be a captain in the U.S. Army, although his dream job would be to be his dad's employer. The person Joe admires most is his older brother, and the most important thing his parents taught him was to think for himself. Congratulations, Joe. Our next senior, number 4, and our goalie, Daniel Shulla. Meeting Daniel are his parents, Andy and Lynn. Daniel will be graduating and headed to Arizona State University, where he plans to major in mechanical engineering. Daniel's biggest pet peeve about high school is how boring, I thought I might change that, or how boring his classes were, and if he could start over, the sport he would try is wrestling. His recommendations to freshmen are to find friends that fit you, and the compliment he receives most often is, "You have massive muscles." His dream job is to be a pro hockey player, and his most unusual talent is playing the saxophone. The worst punishment he received as a child was being grounded for a month, and when asked to describe his family in one word, he says, "loud." If a movie was made of Daniel's life, the actor he picked for the starring role is Adam Sandler, and his favorite movie quote is, "May the force be with you." If he could visit another country for a month, it would be Norway to go hiking, and a food he could never bring himself to try is cottage cheese. I can't believe it. Daniel's best childhood memory was fishing with his cousins, and the person he admires most is his sister, Rachel. Congratulations, Daniel. Our next senior is number 9, Gavin Hanson, playing midfield, accompanied by his parents, Greg and Kara, and Nicole and Kevin. After graduating, Gavin plans to attend UW-Madison, majoring in kinesiology and physical therapy, and playing on the club lacrosse team. When asked how he's changed since freshman year, Gavin says, "I dress somewhat decently now." And the compliment he receives most often is, "You have nice hair." If he could start high school over, the sport he would try is volleyball. And his biggest pet peeve is when he turns in homework and the teacher marks it missing. When asked one type of food he would never eat, Gavin says, a spider or some type of bug. His most unusual talent is that he can juggle, and he's also a black belt in karate. His most embarrassing childhood memory is slamming into a crabapple tree on his bike, and the worst punishment he received as a child was having an early curfew. That's a pretty tough one. His favorite childhood memory is going to his grandparents' house in the summer, and his best lacrosse memory was a JV overtime win against Janesville, in his sophomore year. In 10 years, Gavin hopes to be traveling the world, as one of his bucket list items is going backpacking in Europe. He describes his family as caring. The most useful thing his parents taught him was patience, and the person he admires the most is his brother Clay. Congratulations, Gavin. Our next senior is number 13, an attack, Brady Conwell, accompanied by his parents, Scott and Melissa. After graduating, Brady plans to attend Carroll University, majoring in physical therapy and playing lacrosse. Brady says his biggest change since freshman year is that I finally grew, and the advice he'd offer to freshmen is, you should study a lot. The compliment he receives most often is, you have good manners. And two things he remembers from kindergarten are the roll-up nap time pads and how convenient it was to have a bathroom in the classroom. His best childhood memory is going to Kiva summer camp, and his most embarrassing childhood memory is getting a concussion from a pole. The food he could never bring himself to try is Brussels sprouts, and if a movie was made of his life, Tom Holland would have the starring role. Brady's best lacrosse memory is being in the locker room with his teammates after a big game. His dream job is to be an athletic trainer for a professional sports team, and one of his bucket list items is to go bungee jumping. Using one word to describe his family, Brady says loud. And the most useful thing his parents taught him is to have good manners. Congratulations, Brady. Our next senior is number 34 on defense, Bobby Moyer, accompanied by his parents, Joel and Tammy. After graduating, Bobby plans to attend UW-Platteville, majoring in mechanical engineering. Bobby's biggest pet peeve about high school is the lack of available parking spots. And if he could start high school over, the sport he would try is golf. His advice to freshmen is to enjoy every moment and make the most of every opportunity that comes your way. His most unusual talent is whistling, and he also won the title of Biggest Gossip for Senior Superlatives. The compliment he receives most often is, you have a good work ethic, and his dream job is owning a company with a product he invented. His favorite movie quote is, if you ain't first, you're last. Ricky Bobby. And if a movie was made of his life, Robert Downey Jr. would have the starring role. Bobby's best childhood memory is riding a four-wheeler in his backyard, and his most embarrassing childhood memory is when he and some of his friends put rocks in their pockets so they could walk on the bottom of the pool. Asked to use one word to describe his family, he says energetic. And his favorite thing about his mom is that she's supportive of everything he does. Congratulations, Bobby. And our last senior tonight, number 37 on defense, Gus Wenning, supported by his parents, John and Karen. After graduating, Gus plans to attend Valparaiso University, majoring in exercise science and playing football. Gus says his biggest change since freshman year is I grew a beard. And if he could start high school over, he would try playing hockey. His advice to freshmen is to lift every day, and his dream job is to be a strength and conditioning coach. His most unusual talent is that he can eat a lot. Not surprisingly, if Gus could visit any country in the world, he would choose Italy because the food is good. His best childhood memory is going to the beach, and the worst punishment he received as a child was being locked in his room for getting in trouble at school. Using one word to describe his family, Gus says, funny. And his favorite thing about his mom is that she's motivated like me. The people he admires the most are his parents, and the most useful thing they taught him was to never quit. Congratulations, Gus. Now that we have met all of our seniors, players and parents, the class of 2023 would like to thank our 4 team managers, Tyler and Brady Hamstruck, Griffin C., and Sam Schwartz. Thank you for everything you do for the team. Our seniors would like to say a special thank you to Loretta Erdl, our team grandma. Thank you for attending all of our games and for your unwavering support of the team. Loretta, would you please stand? And would everyone please join me in giving her a big round of applause. Now I'm going to go off script a little bit, and I'd like to take a moment to recognize Tiffany Grosbeach. Her tireless efforts have kept everything going this season. And let's be honest, if all of us did a little visualization taking us back before the season, when that email comes out saying we need a team parent or manager, most of us think, please let somebody else volunteer, and Tiffany steps up and does everything. We thank her for tireless efforts, her sheer amount of time invested is wonderful. Thank you, Tiffany. You are the Energizer Bunny. Please join me in giving Tiffany